Right. Lukas, you're late. Yeah, I know. Huh. Yeah, I know I'm late. Hardly any understatement of the century. Although I'm honestly not that... Well, I am late, but like... Yeah, I'm 20 minutes late, which is like... kind of even for me, like... Very late. But I'm like... Tired. It's like I laid down for a bit because I was... just tired. But like, classic how... I had like actually a few hours even of nearly rest. But like, only towards the end I finally actually fell asleep. Actually, I started falling asleep finally after my alarm went off at like 50 minutes ago. 50 actually, 50 minutes ago. I set my alarm. And I hadn't configured the alarm quite right yet, so my alarm went off. Well, it went off and oh, fucking do I spell Trackilicious again? The alarm went off and like it had a 10-minute snooze and like that doesn't work for me. I'm gonna oversleep that one badly. But fortunately, despite me also fucking up at some point and switching the alarm off at the end, I did get myself woken up and then just... I did very much consider cancelling the race at some point, but like I decided to just pull through and actually come and turn up. Cancelling it. I just decided, fuck it, we're gonna turn. We're gonna turn up. I dug myself out of my bed and just finally did it. But I mean, that was like just about 5 minutes ago. Are we back? I need to zoom out a bit more because we're a bit close probably to the camera. So, this should look fine-ish. I mean, I'm dodgily putting these things together repeatedly, so that's should probably make finally a preset again, but you know, if it's not dodgily built together, then like what else would this be? Well, you see the timer actually, if my stream works, which is 5 minutes till qualifying. So we're actually before qualifying for once. Huh. Do I have this? Yeah, I did save actually the setup when we ran last time here, which is neat. We do have a wet track right now, so we're gonna just put wet tires on, some fuel, and then just slot some. How much PSI do we want? 25, something like that. 25.5. It hasn't been raining, but the track is wet. Now that's interesting. Like there's no rain currently. There's no rain in 10 minutes, but there's rain in 30 minutes. So we're very likely to have actually a wet race here tonight, or not. I'm not gonna continue predicting the weather here this rate. We just roll. And yeah, I could not be asked also to put my actual driving fires on. It is still fires. Actually out of the same set that I bought. So it's same new fires I bought a few days ago, so I've been wearing those as my daily driver. And yes, I wear socks in bed. Something I started because I started wearing fires. Still need to put my left glove on. It's not even damp, like, there's no rain that you would expect. Oh, well, then it's time for internet conditions or something. Yeah. Finally we can put on the glove actually, because putting on gloves mid-mountain is a bit difficult. Go into 6th gear. Let the car fly. How much time is left? 2 minutes 12. Yeah, that's not gonna be enough for us to actually complete that flyer and do another one. I mean, it will be enough time for us to complete the flyer effectively, but like, we won't be able to start another one. What did I want to check? Yeah, okay, track has gone damp now, so I guess it's just, it was too overcast. Also, tire pressure are relatively on the low side, despite all this. So I guess I overcompensated a bit. But we do know that now, fun. In case we need more wet tire pressures. It's so weird. I struggle so much with this car regularly, but like in in damp conditions like this, it's like this car's totally fine to drive. But like, it's slightly out of control. Then again, I was giving Xiong like heart attacks during my stints. For me, it's just a Tuesday drive. I think he's just like, if you throw like so much countersteer on the controller, like you are likely to spin because you don't have the feel. But for me, it's like I can just wick. I know when the car starts biting, you can turn it back around. Yeah, not quite enough. Yeah, we went fastest. Afonso is also in the front again. At least he's consistent in that sense. Considering... But yeah, I mean the rain is coming back, but like the tire pressures are only now just starting to reach the operating room. So if we actually have a wet track, I need to go up by at least a PSI. Which is fine. You learn as you do. Track is however, either it's drying really fast or I'm improving a lot. I mean, we're gonna get reset here mid-lap. Not like we actually get tire stats for the car. On wet tires, you don't get actually completely tire stats. Although you do get the pressures on the tire page. I guess that's the thing you get. But I'm monitoring the tire pressures right now while I'm driving. Yes, damn, closed up a lot. So, conditions, yeah, wet, and getting wetter, sort of, but also not. It's getting slightly less wet. So we do know now that I think we're going 1.5 psi up. Let's see. Otherwise, I think the setup is good enough in these conditions. 25 liters, I think it's good enough also for qualifying. Brake bias. I'm gonna snatch that backwards a bit, but otherwise. Car's okay to run. Rain light, headlights. Yeah, timers now. 5 in front of me. Yeah, there's a lot more water then. Hello there, how are you doing? Oh, long time no see for you. Man, I would have missed out on a wet race if I continued staying in bed. It was a good decision to roll out of bed. So far at least. Hey Carl, do not make me regret my decision immediately trying to throw me at the wall. It was very joyful to drive. Physically hurt by a bug. I thought for a moment that like some sort of like beetle or something like bit you or like kicked you and you got hurt, but like no, it's LMU. I guess you've been playing the newest Alpha Factor 2 DLC, aka Le Mans Ultimate. Yeah. You know, I'm not too surprised. People have been for years complaining that there's like, there can very easily things happen with Alpha Factor 2 specifically, that where the force, where your steering wheel just snaps because you're doing some menuing or something, and the game just decides to switch the force feedback on or off, and it just does shit like that. And apparently they haven't fixed anything. Fuck. Wi-Fi is gapping me right now because I'm just overcommitting here. So we're low pressure again. And yeah, from what I've seen from LMU, it's very much Alpha Factor 2. Everything I've seen out of it is basically like, yep, that's Alpha Factor 2. Just they tried to hide it, but like it's so fucking plain obvious that what they did here. to be like even a blind person honestly can see it. When they showed like one of the first gameplay videos of around Sebring, I was like, huh, that announcer is familiar. That announces lap times. It's jank as always. They did put new voice lines in. Voice samples to like synthesize. Lap time announcements and everything, but like, man, it still sounds like jank as all fuck. But like, the code underneath it is just guaranteed to not have been touched. Yeah, 4 seconds off the pace, yes. Not 4 seconds, sorry. 4/10. And I'm pretty sure he made a mistake there into the... Well, I just made a massive fucking mistake. But I think he also just did that because he lost like massive ground. So this next lap isn't gonna be much better. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he made a mistake into the chase. Oh yeah, there's half a second immediately into that corner, man. I'm pretty sure his lap is a write-off right now. Yeah, Tyler's sort of slowly getting into the pressure range, right? But I had to drive an LMU longer than 60 seconds and steering wheel was violently thrown to the left to full lock. I haven't been able to drive under the sim before. That sucks. I'm sorry. It's just... It's obvious that you're still in it. It's been always capable of a lot of this buggy mess. Let's see, how much time did I lose in turn 1 here? Nearly another half a second with oversteer. Staying at 4th makes a lot more sense. He's hauling it. Which is good for me because he's, you know, not getting in my way. Although if he wipes out, that can very easily lead to him being in my way. A lot of time down there. I still don't have like a scene name showing up in my thing. Oh yeah, we're nearly towards the end of the qualifying right now. Oof. Love bounce. Yeah, he overcooked it. That's his qualifying done. Alfonso hasn't put a lap in, and he's still in the pits, so Alfonso is not done qualifying. We have church in front of us, but like... How many cars are in this race? 8? Or do we have more? Because if we have 8, then the only rival at this... Daco and Church, obviously, which, you know, but we're not finding any improvement on our lap either. I will just take myself the allowance to overtake you there. It's not nice, and we shouldn't do it on qualifying, but... You know, you drove such a line that it was just perfect for me to slot by. And I don't think I even held you up at all doing it. Except that I probably made you flustered, which is lost your time. I'm sorry for that. Should have not done that, but like, yeah, Daco has also finished. How many people is it? As far as I can see, yeah, 9. Church is the 9th car. Should have probably practiced the pin entry. Oh yeah, I even abandoned the lap as well. I don't know why you would abandon the lap. Or did you hit the wall hard enough to actually abandon it?
Alright, we have some wet conditions. Watch out for curbs and exit, and remember to brake early.
Thank you. So we want to probably go up on the pressures, considering I now in another stint had just like not quite enough pressure. But if we don't need to go that far up, let's go 04 up on all tires. I think that's fine. Yeah, we're missing some people we usually see in this series, right? We do have Alfonso, but like he didn't qualify here. Pfeiffer is here, but like, or the STF is missing. Maybe it's tired of like crashing into me. Which, you know, understandable. It sucks that like this had happened twice. Right. You wrote just the word solder. For what purpose and context was that word? But yeah. So, the rain is gonna intensify throughout the race. Maybe I go up on the pressures because we weren't really over pressured at all. We weren't even close to it, and frankly, you can overpressure wet tires, it's fine. But I mean, we're probably also fine under pressuring them, so it's like, you know, it's not the end of the world. Either option is not the end of the world here. This works. I don't know why my scene name is not showing up, but I have been having occasional issues with the WebSocket plugin just bugging out and not connecting actually properly. I don't know why.
30 seconds.
Right. We do have a full formation lap. So headlights, rain lights, windscreen wiper. $99 racecraft, 99 safety, 61 pace rating. It doesn't. It's only like the hot lap sessions, and 76 cc and 96 cn, and the track mounts are 99 as well. But yeah, CCCN. Which was the one was which again? Cause one is yeah, I think yeah, CC is car control. It's funny that it gives me 76. It's just like, well, you're driving too sideways, so we will deduct off your rating. I don't know even what accent I was trying to go for with that one. But yeah, that's just. CC is in that sense getting deducted because it thinks like, oh well, you're driving sideways. That's not what we planned for. And I'm on the other hand like, rolling Christ, it's wet. It's quite fast as well. There's nothing new that I'll destroy the ratings because I decided to drive cars that are like a bit Larry loose. Yes, you missed the part when I went in pole position. Apparently. Must be tuned out from. I guess you asked how much time is to qualifying, and then you like left. And instead you took like I think at that time it was like 6-7 minutes to qualifying, and then you just like took 16 minutes to turn back up. Well, actually 20. We had pretty good time as well. I'm a bit ahead right now. Driving a bit far up. Siege. Rainbow Six Siege. Boy, it's been a while since I've heard that name. Man. The last bit of Siege content was probably a Russian patcher video about the game, and like, that's probably a year ago at this point as well. He's been covering basically everything else besides Siege. Does Nissan GTR have high speed understeer? Probably. I will go with probably that I'm pretty sure the Nissan GTR does not have that much aero to go around, so you likely deal with some high speed understeer. But they don't take guarantees from me quite. It's what I do know, it's a relatively powerful car. And, well, on one hand with the BRP now, it's actually halfway competitive, and like in the other hand, it's also like, you know, it's a decent car that has, it is very powerful when you step on the throttle out of corners. It's similar to the Bentley in that sense. You need to actually fiddle the throttle, or otherwise you're getting a lot of oversteer. I liked Siege before it turned into a call for Fortnite, and also before the branding would work. Let's see. I don't even know when it would like woke or something. I think it does rub me sometimes the wrong way when people say like, "Oh, it went woke" and stuff, and I'm like, "You sure?" Like people have been calling it the GTA 6 trailer, like IRL. I've had with like college mates and stuff, like they group project like, oh yeah, look at the trailer, like that's like, are you sure really? I mean, I expect probably maybe some fucking ideology to be ejected. Maybe not. But it's difficult to explain. Like these days, I just expect the fucking stupid woke ideology to be injected into everything in some diet coke form. I just feel awkward when people are like, I always feel like people. I suck at fucking explaining my thought process, but like, and why it feels icky. But like, it feels icky because I feel like people don't actually understand what the fuck they're talking about, and they're just spewing out a buzzword that they heard. But I don't actually understand what the fucking ideology is about. And how it functions, and how fucking pervasive it inserts itself into everything. So they're labeling random things that might or might not at all be related to it. So it's weird. Especially labeling a trailer that has like fucking girls in bikinis. It's like, you sure about that? Okay, right. We should get back to like. Yeah, you guys at least stayed with Siege and talking about that instead of going into this stupid topic. But yeah, my experience with Siege is, you know, as I said, Russian Badger videos and, well, I did play like a free weekend back in like 2017 or something. So yeah, that's my Siege experience. Or perhaps even earlier, honestly. Maybe it was for 2015. Somewhere in that realm of like year numbers. Do not ask me for precise dates. You're getting injured already by Lamar's Ultimate, and then you're like, yeah, let's swap to direct drive. Nothing could possibly go wrong in June. You know, I kind of respect that decision, but like, well, we're not breaking away from Pfeifferbahn. He's staying with me. Ah, whatever. It's nice that you're upgrading. I hope if you, in case you did decide to go with Fan Attack, that you calculated in that they're gonna, you know, delay your shipments indefinitely, basically. Because the logistics chain just has been an utter clusterfuck. I have thought for a long time of getting a director. Funny enough, like, I didn't even have my VTuber model, and I was like in a stream for, what was it the race for? I think it was AMS 2. Or was it AMS 1? I knew that it was at Kyalami. The old Kyalami. I do remember that part. It's probably not AMS 1. Because AMS 1 you need to mod VR support into. I think it was then actually AMS 2 or something. I'm not sure. But it was 2021. Or actually maybe it was Assetto Corsa then. It was probably base game AC. I think I know the championship even. It was the Sim Racing minus GP.net what if base game cars? The Alfa Romeo Stratos or something? So this is like a 60 sports car. Hosted with that one a championship, and I was talking back then even like, oh yeah, I'm considering kind of a direct drive wheel, but you know. It was at the time the availability was a bit shit. And I was like, do I want to spend like €1,000 because you... Well, I would like a round rim, but also I would like a, you know, Formula style rim. In the end, I ended up, I think back in, yeah, it was 2022 when I decided to then purchase actually the current rim that I'm using, which is the F1 rim. Because which rim is it? The rim that came with my wheelbase, I'm using a T300. It's the Ferrari GTE rim. No Alcantara, because they do sell an Alcantara Ferrari rim as well. But it's just that they're rubber $100 rim. It's a really good rim. The rubber never tore off compared to the T150s, which just felt the rubber falls apart there. That one is great. The problem is it developed a fatigue crack in the housing for the pedal shifter. So it still worked. It's just it had like 5% chance that the gear shift didn't go through. But you would feel it sort of when it doesn't happen because it just went all mush on you. Just wasn't particularly a pleasant shift experience, and it's not like those rims are known for not like they're known for a good shifting experience. They're known for like, yeah, they have pedal shifters. That's it. This DerGeneralFluff at radio the talk already. What wheel I'm getting, but it's revealed on the channel. Well, I shall not tease it. Well, you probably revealed that you're getting direct draft, but not what. Okay, that's probably what you mean. I didn't. But yeah, I hope you're not running into shipping issues. Fuck. That's not quite planned. Ow. That wasn't even much damage. It was like literally half a second of damage. We're fine. It's just we lost a lot of time. That's the big issue. Honestly. And that we showed that we're weak, which means he's gonna. Why is this car suddenly wanting to kill me? You know, it just decided that like we're not having a Saturday stream. We've got. Well, I think that's the meaning of a just talking stream. I don't care. A chit chat stream. We're not getting that. We have to actually focus on driving this thing. Can't be like new. But yeah, I was at time throwing around if I could buy a T300 or like maybe Moza, but like all the options still like at the time boiled down to like spending $1,000 to effectively get that like F1 rim, well, open wheeler style rim and a round rim, because Moza didn't have particularly any cheap wheel rim options, so it was really fan attack, but fan attacks. But even if fan attack, if you buy a rim, 2 rims and a wheelbase, it's not cheap. You will very quickly also end up like the €800 mark, and it's just like, bruh. Also, Moza has the issue here that like you have to pay. The prices are without tax, so I have to additionally factor in 19% tax on Moza's prices, which makes them not particularly cheap. Although they have gotten better. I've driven a bit in R5, I have to say, because my brother actually owns an R5. What's R3? I'm not too sure which of these two it is. I think it's an R3 that he has. Because yeah, they went even lower in terms of the base spec at the time. I think they only had an R5. For me, it didn't feel like that different actually to my T300. Then again, I tried it like in the middle of the fucking night, and it's like, and it was also awkward because I clamped it with the table clamp to my
rig, and it's just like I was hitting my knees on the fucking table clamp because the table clamp is like industrial scale on that thing. On everything. This is so stupid. Well, I don't think you're paying like 19% value added tax. But I do know that you guys don't have taxes included in price tags usually. And effectively you go into the store, you pick out the items, you go to the cashier, and then suddenly the bill is higher. Because the value added tax is added on checkout. Depending on state and stuff. But here in Germany, it has to be included in the price. Moza is basically, I think they're legal because they are you kind of importing them, and also like they have it on the site written down, and it's I don't know the legality, but like you can sort of get away. But if you're like an actual German shop, you do have to put your prices including tax. It's otherwise not legal. Right, we do have to do a pit stop in this race. Fuel specifically. It's currently calculating I need about 12 liters to finish the race. But we're not expecting the rain to stop at any point in this race. But yeah, he's really bitten onto my back end again. He's not letting fucking loose at all. But I seem to actually have pretty decent straight line speed. 25% tax? I think only the Danish have more. They're like roughly the same. I thought it was like 4 or something. Guess it's state dependent? You know what they say, kids? Taxation is theft. But I mean, us Germans are like very funny because we at some point pay taxes on taxes. Because they added another tax on top of everything because German reunification to effectively fund the states that like the Eastern Bloc states. Because, you know, there was a time where like Germany was 2 countries. And then effectively the Russians just, you know, oh, he lost it. Mind me. But there was a point in time when then the Russians decided, like, nah, we were not interested in holding that part of Germany anymore. You could have it. For free. Asterisk. We've run it basically to the ground, so you have to, like, invest millions upon millions upon billions to get it up to any fucking operational standard. And there's still, like, a massive east-west divide in this country. Like, you could see you look at colored statistic maps and, like, it's like a fucking night and day difference. You can very easily trace where the Eastern Bloc was still on a modern map. It's so real. like that's just some really interesting stuff. From like behaviors to economics. all there. The region is more agricultural. Also, the voting behavior is different and stuff. Is he coming in? No, he isn't. Well, I'm out of fuel in 4 laps. Did I see me or him with the fastest lap? I have to check. Yeah, I have currently the fastest lap, okay. Wait, he spun again? I'm not paying for 1 second attention and he's like lost it completely. I don't know, I'll shoot here. But yeah, he spun. The funniest thing is, gap to P3 is already 20 seconds. 22 seconds. P3 is just nowhere. You could spin and end up still finishing second. No, don't do what you did. Well, not yesterday anymore. It's about how many hours ago? 36 hours, something like that, when I crashed into that wall. Spent an Amazon gift card for my uncle on a VR headset and You still are hung up on that one. It's been 2 months, you have to let go. The accident was not your fault. I do, seriously, if you continue harboring on that one, you will never get over it. You have to just accept and move on. Sorry, like, it's just... You continue to just dig yourself... Beat yourself up over that one. At the end of the day, it's just money. Like, you unwisely spend it, in your opinion. That's fine. All the mistakes. But you have to just accept that this is reality now and just spend the rest of the money wisely. Spend future money, not the rest. You spent that money already, but like future money wisely. Let's come into pits, because I think he has come into pits, so should probably count him. Fonzo is 40 seconds down on us, and he hasn't even done a pit stop. Although we will with the pit stop and I'm behind him again. Pretty sure. Still takes too long for us to actually cycle out in front of him. We'll end up like 10 seconds behind or something. I think. Alright, we're taking 18 liters. 11, my fuel calculator says. Let's take 20. It's not gonna change anything. We're not changing tires, we're just turning. Lukas. Oh, I overshot again. I've been overshooting here today. Both races. Here goes Pride Echo. We'll be standing here for a few more seconds. To get ready. Alfonso's coming in also into the pit, so we won't be passing him on track. Right. So rolling again. I think we're 23 seconds actually ahead of Viper. Okay, no, we probably aren't, because he just crossed start finish. Yeah, that was just the gap calculation being wonky. 14 seconds is the actual reality. 13. No, we don't need to pull a V8 Supercars and drive into that wall. Because we... Well, in case of V8 Supercars, the brakes, like, literally failed. But, like, in our case, because we broke the laser. So we're dumbass coming out of pits. With how much sweat this championship has been, it's like, it is a bit of a refresher to just have, you know, a round where you're like winning. And I nearly would have deprived myself of this round if I had, you know, not gotten out of bed, finally. Decided at about 1:18 AM that, like, finally to get the fuck out of bed. And qualifying was starting at 1:30, so, like, luckily I had turnkeyed most things. I had to still boot my computer because I had actually shut it down, but, like, you know, I had set up the stream already. I had to get dressed and stuff, but, like, you know, I skipped out parts of that. So you might see with the fire eyes. Still can't understand how he won a championship over you. Yeah, this is why I was so pissed with that championship, because, like, because he just came out of nowhere. Like, as I've said multiple times, I've driven against him a few times before this championship, and, like, he was picking interesting cars like I did. Actually, he was driving sometimes Maserati with against me, but, like, he was now 10 positions usually down on me in Qualy, ended up in the race like usually. While I'm fighting, like, for top 5 and wins, he was, like, barely staying in the top 20 actually, although he did have a teammate in that championship, so we'll give that credit where credit is due. And then we show up to the Porsche Cup and it's like, well, he won the first race, like, that's odd. Huh. Okay, I'm driving him round 2, he's nowhere to be found. Drive round 3, he's nowhere to be found. Well, he's further down the grids, but, like, you're not scoring high. Round 4, still not really there. Next season, round 1. Immediately up at the front. Suddenly fighting with me. Continues at round 2, continues at round 3, and continues into round 4 on this circuit as well. He wins the championship because of fast slap. Following season, he also kind of continues this, although also only sporadically. So it's like, he's so oddly in his performance, it just doesn't make sense to me. Just like this little brother of him. I don't know. It's just, yes, these cars are inconsistent at times, and yes, you can have a pretty wide range of performance, but, like, there's also the reality that, like, even on like my worst rounds, I was still competing for P5s and stuff. So I was still running in top 5s. I think my worst finishes in Hungaroring in Season 2, Round 1, where I spun on the final lap, and that cost me multiple positions due to that. Spun and like lost multiple positions. I would have otherwise finished like P4 as well there. It's not like, I don't know. I mean, we don't have that many people driving here, so he's actually gonna, I think, finish like up there in like 4th, 5th, something like that. He did have a few, especially in, I think, last season, he was able to like sneak his way up there in like top 5 position still, despite having not any pace, but like still it's. In that sense, like, why am I sometimes, like, not performing at all? And, like, the answer that I have is, like, the car just doesn't work for me sometimes. Like, it's working tonight because it's wet. Yeah, actually, I should have probably gotten fresh tires because, you know, fast slap doesn't matter. Although, actually, we are still holding the fast slap and conditions might have just gotten worse, so I don't think it's quite as easy to perform. And you know, maybe it just doesn't do well in wet conditions, but like, but as I said, like, I have weird issues with this car where I'm just like, some weeks do not perform, but even at Kota I still was up there. Even at Spa was up there if I hadn't like spun on the opening lap. Still had some sort of pace. Could vaguely go at a pace. And Hungaroring sort of as well, but like not quite.
There's a car exiting mid lane.
Well, V-Track actually does have fastest lap points as well. Funnily enough, this season. We do have fastest lap points, which is kind of a thing that I need to consider when calculating against ISA. This was included in my math for championship scenarios against ISA, that if for the last 6 races, if I finish 2nd in 4 of them and 1st in 2, that I would win the championship. However, now I finished, you know, 4th in one and 2nd in the other one. And he could... And he scored both races, also the fastest lap again, so it's like... I'm left with basically... that I think I need to win one more race there. The thing is with V-Track, this championship here that we're driving in Trackilicious Porsche Cup here, that's with an American style point scoring system, so there's I think 70 points for a race win. Like 60 or 65 for 2nd place or something like that. And there's 1 point for fastest lap. Or 3, something like that. I think it's actually 1 point precisely. 1 point for fastest lap. So the fastest lap doesn't do much in points. Although it can make a difference, you know. If everybody scores, you know, the same sort of results, but like one has an actual fastest lap, then like, yeah, that makes a difference. But in Trackilicious, there's 25 points for a race win, and 20 points for 2nd place. And actually 16, I think, for a 3rd. Something along those lines. 16 and probably 12 for 4th. So yeah, out of my 19-point gap that I had on ISA, due to 2 races where like, how much do I have left at that point? I think I have like 5 points right now left as a gap. He will get the championship lead in the next round if I don't win. Like, that's how bad it's gotten. I mean, we obviously don't have the results official yet. But yeah, this is a big reason why I'm like I need to go back to the McLaren. I quite love the NSX hard drives. But like I also like driving the McLaren. And the McLaren is quite a lot more forgiving in its handling than the N6. The N6 has a lot of straight line speed though. That's nice with the car. I was insane. I mean, you would. Well. I mean, I didn't. When I turned up tonight, I didn't know it was gonna rain. Well, that's the best thing that could happen because, you know. Yeah, I didn't know you were insane. I love the most like call me in the game. I have to watch muted though, sadly. I forgot my earphones. Pain. So I can't even talk shit. Well, I guess I can talk shit about how terrible Jordan is. That he barely can drive around the circuit. It lost like in the Trackilicious 6 hours. Here. I think 3 laps or something like that. It constantly crashed like 3 times in 2 hours. Okay, I should stop. This is gonna actually get paid for. Unfortunately, you can't hear me Jordan at this bad, but like, funnily enough, I prefer driving this car on the wet around the circuit than compared to the dry. It is a lot more enjoyable because it actually has grip, which is stupid to say, because you're like, why does this car have grip in wet but doesn't have it dries? But it for some reason just does. Time to curse Jordan. With what? I don't think I can curse him with anything. I guess I could do a reverse curse and like curse him with like good fortune. Well, nah, that will actually cause him to have bad fortunes for his next races. When the guy hasn't been racing in a few weeks, and from when he got the opportunity back in Daytona to actually drive some Sims exhibits, he felt like completely washed. So the poor guy needs a bit of a break in that sense. Call him cute. No, that's funny. Aww. We'll head pat him again in VR chat. I still have to say, I did not expect these images to look that. It looked like I genuinely have wrists. Oh no, don't do that. That would be the worst thing to call me cute. Don't call me this. I guess we're coming to the end of this race already. Don't call me the C word. It's an offensive slur to me. Jordan's Ford versus. This is gonna be funny if he actually ever rewatches this in the VOD. In some ways, let's hope he doesn't, because it makes it more funny. But like, but it's also funny to consider him watching this and like listening to me. it'd still be a Sunderend for go fucking baka on the final lap and try to commit murder on me. That's your cute, Jordan. Yeah. I mean, that was... I mean, you were there, B-Lip, for when we were driving in the Silverstone 4 hours. But I'm not sure you were still there on the third stint when I was driving again in the rain. Man, I was throwing that car around like crazy. And Sorg was just suffering there. Because he was like, oh god, you're wrecking again, oh god, you're wrecking again. I was just like... No, this is all under control. This is not even fucking close. Basically. I did get close a few times, frankly, but like... I had a few moments where we got close to the edge of the track. Nearly did grass tipping at times, but like... It was all under control and like... I might have thrown hands in a few situations, but like... It was always under control, but like that one... Yeah, that one was very close to the fucking wall there. But I guess it's again a testament to like, I actually do have car control. Despite that the ratings this, I'm like, kind of just above average about in that category. I would suggest you to actually move off the racing line. So, right. Honk honk. So. Yeah, that was so close, that moment. And because it's the Porsche Cup, the steering is in the wet. Someone's driving backwards into the pit lane. Really bad idea. Please stop doing that. Oh, actually, the session has ended, so he might not even get disqualified doing that. He might get lucky. The game doesn't actually disqualify him. But yeah, Afonso finished P6 in the end here. How far? 60 seconds down on me.
Green light, go, go, go.
I think even my worst races I wasn't that far behind. Although he did perform better in the second half of that race because he actually performed well. Let's watch starting in. Oh god, that must be your cursed timeline. Porsche. Right, him alongside me here up the hill. Bit of latency. We're relatively matched here right now. He brakes early. I'm throwing the car a bit in here. I mean, I did get lucky early in the race when I tapped the wall and got away with it. Sometimes you do not want to watch the replay to not see how actually close you regularly get to these walls. Although it is wet, so I'm not mounting this curb particularly as hard as I would in dry conditions. Oh yeah, this is the lap, right? Massive oversteer off this corner. More oversteer here, and then just it gets a wiggle, tap the wall there. And that's half a second worth of damage. Yeah, I got really lucky there. But it did bring Pfeiffer closer to me. Yeah, at some point a moment in this corner. A date with Jordan? What do you mean a date with Jordan? I need to do more endurance racing. That's Pfizer. It's not Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer is a piper. German name of a German word for the profession piper. She called him kids. Oh no. Is he sliding in the slipstream here of me? And he's struggling actually. Although he actually did move out a bit out of the slipstream while following me here. Ah yeah, he lifts for the kink here. I never during the race lifted, but like on the other hand he's following me there, so like it might be a decent idea to lift and like not drive into the freaking back of me because you mess up the brake. You get a wobble and like pile drive me there. Yeah, if he hadn't made those like 2 big mistakes, he would have definitely threatened me the entire race. It made that pit stop a lot more relaxing. That's all I can say there. Right, I got a bit loose there. It's fine still this lap. Let's see. Is this the lap where he loses it? Oh yeah. He brushes the wall there. Yeah. He only like goes down what I think he doesn't even tap the brakes. You can see the brake lights only come on after the apex. He lifts off and just coasts into the corner, doesn't down gear through the bend. How do I brake for the corner? Yeah, I brake back there. The thing is, he lifts off only, and that's what gets him. I'm pretty sure he did the same driving line through there as me, but he just brain farted for a moment and went back to dry GT3 line, and that just immediately kills you there. Like this is a Porsche. It won't confirm to doing that. it won't do that one. God damn it. And he probably suffered a bit of damage from that, but like nothing career-ending really. I think he never fixed the damage, considering he ended up about 13 seconds behind me. Although there is a potential he only took like 3 seconds worth of damage from that brush. The guy did only like half a second. So, like there's a chance he only took like a couple seconds and then fixed in the pit stop. I don't know that. We might know that if I know Five in the past at least streamed his POV, so like I don't know if he streamed this time around. If he did, then we could actually check that out, but I'm not quite feeling like I'm doing that. At least right now, not. Maybe later, yeah. Off stream, but like not right now. Right. So I'm pretty sure he loses it here now. Yeah, way too deep, and then just yeah, way too eager on that one. And bonks the wall as well, for good measure. Yeah, too deep, tries to slow it down, has it all back under, okay, this is fine, and then he just goes, well, I need to make that back to ground because Lukas is getting away, and it just feeds it too much throttle, and he's on the curb here, and, the result is kind of self-explanatory, and he's probably kicking himself, like, he's like, oh shit, I need to make ground to Lukas, and then he's at this point roughly about Well, I'm a fucking idiot and fed full throttle a yell while I'm on the curb. Well, this is an obvious outcome of my own stupidity. What is with you, Vanek? Where were you? Did you oversleep this race or something? I mean, I nearly did that. But, like, I missed you. Where the hell were you? I won. I'm surprised that happened. You know? I mean, it helped that it rained again, which meant that I, you know, actually have pace because the car has, for some reason, grip in the wet, but it doesn't have in the dry. Which you had to find out twice by having twice an accident with me in the same fashion. Span of a couple of races. Just sorry what happened at Barcelona. It sucks that happened the first time that collide with me because I lose control of the car on the exit of a corner. Because I feed it a tad too much throttle, get a bit of oversteer, and then just end a tad tighter than usual. And right as I regain control, you're just on path with collision with me, and then you end up spinning again. But yeah, Pfeiffer was hunting me for most of the race. I had a really good qualifying. Pfeiffer was staying with me, well, for the first half of the race roughly, until he made those two mistakes. Make that 3 now. Although that didn't hurt him pace-wise too much. But yeah, he made, as I was going through the replay, he made this mistake here where he decided to do the dry GT3 line for this corner. And he didn't brake before the kink. He forgot that. And then he made another silly error that I've shown just now, where he overshot this corner and then fed way too much throttle on the curb, and it's just like, yeah, that was kind of obvious. But yeah, the race became relatively boring. I was with my mom for her birthday dinner. Oh, that's nice. It's unfortunate that you obviously had to miss this round. We shall see you back then at Indy and, you know, Watkins Glen, I suppose. Probably for some on-track action between us two. Hopefully Indy works well. I really like Indianapolis as a circuit. It works really well for me usually. But if the Porsche works for me on there is a completely other question, right? I've had so many issues with this car where it's just like, it's a roll of the dice if on this track it will work or not work. It does not make sense to me quite, and it just happens. No, I totally didn't call you cute, Jordan. But yeah, I don't quite get... I don't understand how this car... It doesn't make sense. Some races I turn up and the car will just... It will work, it will bite into the road, and other races it will just slide over all 4 tires and just go. And just be a... I don't know. It's like driving into an ice. But for some reason it has grip in the wet. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Ah! But yeah, it's... I mean, I was surprised that I had any performance in Barcelona. Like... Yeah. This is at least something. That was something, and this was a good performance here. Didn't put my foot wrong. Compared to, you know, another Bathurst race I did about 36 hours ago, where I threw the car into the wall on the way down the dipper and basically fucked my championship up in that series. In the process of doing that, I made my life a lot harder than it needs to be against someone who is very quick. You just laughed, you must have. Yes. No, I totally didn't call you cute, John. Okay, right. I don't know if we have anything else in the replay, really. Maybe we'll watch the race start from, like, the further positions back, maybe. But, like, I think there's otherwise nothing. Oh, yeah, right there was the massive save I had on the final lap. That was vaguely interesting. Yeah, let's watch from... Let's watch from... Afonso, yeah. Slows down early. How many cars are... Oh, there's a few cars still behind. Hello? Oh, my game decided to minimize itself. Hell, can I get the game back, please? I beg you. Oh, you want a hug? Sure. Virtual, or do I have to actually... or do I have to swim across the channel and hug you in person? Casually swims across the channel to assert dominance. Also walks through the entirety of Germany, basically. And then also the half Great Britain. Rydeck hit the wall quite hard there. So I'm impressed that he finished in third. I think he finished third, if I'm not mistaken. Hello, Marcus. Are you really wanting to annoy me tonight? Huh? No, Elma actually finished third. So funnily enough, the guy who's actually behind Afonso right now finished third. Rydeck finished fourth. Well, according to these results, I'm not quite sure. I think a few cars DNF'd. Right. We did have the massive save down the final lap. Denver, I'm flying back to more. Which will do for that. Oh, so you do have audio now, I guess. Considering you know what I've said. Now, I was not considering swimming across the Atlantic, although I have threatened people with, like, I will swim across the Atlantic and beat the shit out of you. Yeah, that was a moment and a half. Come on. I'm having issues with my keyboard right now. I mean, usually I don't wear my controllers while I'm operating this. Yeah, the Porsche did a Porsche thing. The Sundere was like, no, you hadn't fought me enough this race, baka. And tried throwing at barrier. Fortunately, I used detect and was able to deflect the attack. I've done this before. I've done that as well before. I understand that, right? I will be wrapping up to my stream right now. I think. We haven't been live for long because I nearly missed this race because I couldn't get my ass out of bed. That's a thing. I turned the alarm for like an hour before qualifying starts, and then I really only woke up at about half an hour before qualifying starts when my stream was scheduled to start. That was when I like actually got awake. I had pressed snooze twice on my phone, and then I think I'm not sure. I think I swiped it twice? Yeah, I got to like 20 minutes, then turned the alarm off, then slept actually, and then woke myself up. And then at the train, and the earbuds died. I do have actually I bought, besides Fire Highs, I did buy, I did buy some USB-C headphones. So I actually have headphones that work with my phone. Because my phone does not have a headphone jack anymore. Because I'm using a Fairphone 4, they don't have headphone jacks. Ah, man. You know, I've done worse things, like... what is the name of the show? I will briefly look up the name of that show. But I regularly watch anime, well, in the past at least did. These days I've I oftentimes like play my Switch on the train, so that's fun. But yeah, let's grab what anime this is. Wait, that's a fun one, I can tell you. Where's my jellyfin? There's my jellyfin. Jellyfin, I think it's the anime, I left it in there, despite being the uncensored version. Where are you? It's a different one. Although I didn't watch the uncensored version on the train because the uncensored version wasn't out yet. Where is it? Did I not put this in here? It's good shit. Come on, where did I put that? Ah, there it is. It's all the way on the bottom. It is Nadeko ni Sensei ga. Or in English, why the hell are you here, teacher? That one is a fun one, I can tell you. So I was watching that while riding the train. Honestly, the TV version that I was watching back in 2019 when it aired, that was quite heavily, you know, censored. Regularly with just having a... with just regularly being like, here's a blackboard of just going like... the teacher with blackboard written on it like, no. The teacher standing next to it. The uncensored version is like fucking peak culture stuff. That one is good stuff. It's half-length episodes. Although Himigota is I would name Himigota my guilty pleasure. Oh yeah, it is. It's the uncensored version is straight up R18 stuff. Like the uncensored version is straight up R18 stuff. Yeah, I would immediately get banned off YouTube if I showed that one. The censored version, well, you might get community guidelines struck on that one. Himigota is fine though, on the other hand. Himigota actually exists on YouTube. You can watch that show. Did I watch back in the day Interspecies Reviewers while riding on the train? Yeah, right. Interspecies Reviewers came out in 2020. So, I might have watched an episode or two, but the show mainly came out when Corona started, so I was no longer actually going in person to university. Right. So that happened. So that's probably didn't happen. Oh, it is just saw some pics. Yeah, it is something, that show. It is something. Well, the interspecies reviewers is obviously like that would step upwards. And I mean, if you watch, for example, like there's like in terms of nudity, anime does have sometimes this. Like Redline has top nudity. What was the infamous death game anime? Miraniki has it. Edge Runners has it. Like all three of them have like top nudity regularly. New containers. So like that's technically like new news. But they're all like not treated really as that bad. But like obviously that show when it's uncensored is quite something. In the sense that, and honestly, the censored variant is not worth watching, really. I watched it back in the day, but because it's a quite funny show. Let's be real. But like, when you have the option to watch the uncensored, I would definitely suggest that one. The censored version, however, is good enough if you don't have any other options, right? Which was the case back in 2019. We didn't have the option to watch the uncensored. These days you can just torrent it very easily. Not much of a deal. Right. Okay then. I will call it a night now. I don't know when I will be back with the next race technically will be again the Porsche Cup then in a week's time, because I don't have anything else that I'm signed up for right now. Although I've been saying for the last month basically that like, hey, I will be doing intermittent streams, you know, of like other games and stuff, and like, has any of that materialized? Have you seen any other streams? No, you haven't. It's just been me turning up for my races and stuff. That's the only thing that has happened. I'm sorry. We will be back to funny how the hijinks at some points. It's just not today. It will be some other day. I might do something this week, but like might not. I'm just not taking guarantees at this point. I really kind of need to do like other VTubers and streamers and just make a fucking schedule. And like, you know, Deep Rock Galactic was nice. I kind of think about if I should buy Helldivers. I've actually put a Helldivers outfit on my VRChat model. So I actually do have that, funnily enough. Schedule. What's that? You don't even have a Discord server to post the schedule on. Well, I have a Twitter account to post it on, and I can do community posts as well. Also, I can technically make a Discord, but like, you know, the only people who turn up to my... It's like, I don't know if it's worth it, really, for you, you know, for like, you and you, basically, the only two people who watch my streams, to actually... to have a Discord server for that. Yeah, I unfortunately have been recently using Twitter more. I should really stop. It's kind of gotten to the point where I actually actively use the site. Like, back in end of last year, it was like, oh yeah, I'm using Twitter a bit more because, you know, the other VTubers that I'm racing with use the site. So it's like, it makes sense to use Twitter, right? And then, like, especially when the entire Selene thing and DocuBird thing dropped, it's just like, I've been way more active on the side all of the sudden. I mean, I don't post that much. I do occasionally make snarky comments like, oh boy, I made one really fucking snarky comment underneath some iRacing driver who had a crash going through the chase. He I'm not sure if it was, I think it was a back marker, but like, the back marker didn't have quite as much straight line speed, but he didn't even have overlap going into the corner. He was still behind, and he just like drove in the back of him, because he thought the back marker would just disappear, so he just drove in the back of him. The back marker obviously lost it, went into the grass, and then he just like, going through the chase, coming up, going into the braking zone. The guy just continued normally, and then like the back marker obviously trying to hold on to the grass, like it just loses it, crashes straight into him. I mean, I'm showing it a bit wrong because it's technically, you know, the track bends this direction, but like for me it bends this. My right and left are a bit confusing on the stream, but yeah, the track basically goes like this, obviously, and the car went off into the gravel and just lost and T-boned him. And he was like, well, you know, that our race unfortunately ended because of this because some back marker blocked me, and he even said during the footage, like, well, this looked kind of intentional, which it kind of did from his POV point. But he didn't say anything when he showed the other perspective, where it was very clear that, like, a back marker was desperately fucking trying to get back control of the car and just happened to get across him, and, like, there were just multiple things that, like, fucking pissed me off on the way that was phrased from him. Yeah, let me just read the comment specifically. Well, that is a done out already incident with a car that was already damaged and wanted to try defend less than an hour into 24 hours. No, he wasn't trying to defend, he was just running the fucking line through the corner. And you just shove them out of the way, and you got what you asked for. Let me know your thoughts. What's the last comment? And like, I'm just like, typical iRental behavior. Go for a non-existent gap because my back marker inevitably ends up crashing into the back marker, throwing him off the circuit. Don't do anything to potentially avoid the out-of-control car. Out-of-control cars collect you. That looked intentional. And then I did put the find out and fuck around chant meme gif underneath, and just like, yeah, you done goofed up. Fortunately or unfortunately, he didn't respond or anything. Just a couple people liked it, which is, you know, cool. I'm at least not the only one who's like has that opinion that like this was a bit fucking stupid and goofy. From him, but like, yeah, that's just, it's something. Otherwise, I mean, oh yeah, I did mention how that was, right. I've been posting that stuff, like retweeting other creator stuff. There's this like Hokyoshi tweet of like, this is a Porsche 935, but it's not the real Porsche real 935, and it's actually a 991, which is a 911 with a custom body kit to look like the 935-78, which is also not a 911. But is the racing version of a 930, which is a 911, and the original 911 is actually a 901, but Porsche made it change it. Fucking Porsche naming schemes. Yeah, that's a thing. Oh no, yeah, I tweeted about plushies as well. Oh no, not a giant adorable plushie, because there's a giant Fumo version of Ferrari, which is as big as my Watame. God damn it, I need to stop my plushie addiction. I need to stop buying them, but like they keep fucking releasing adorable plushies. It's out of hand. There's also a picture of my entire plushie collection currently on there. But I should stop advertising my Twitter because you know, you don't want to be on that hellhole platform, and I need to respect that decision. It's understandable. Have a great. It's fucking hell. They lost? What the fuck? More like, were they lost? It's nothing new, considering half of the sentence was like dedicated to the 935-78, because that's like, because that car is like from probably 1978, and that one already is like the racing version of the 930, which is of 930, which is a 911, and the 911 originally was supposed to be named a 901. Porsche, when you ask them to name something without a 9, and they just like sweat profusely. But yeah, I mean, basically every Porsche is a 911 except when it isn't. But yeah, they do have cars that are not 9 with a 9 in the name. I think the Cayman is actually a 718, something like that. I think the Cayman is a 718 or something. Yeah, something like that. So, and there's a few other like older Porsches that aren't 9ers. But yeah, a lot of their Porsches are 9ers. I think they have more meaning than the numbers on your monitor. Not on your monitor, but you know, the numbers describing your monitor, because those are fucking random. No, but yeah, the numbers do mean something, because they do at times actually declare the version of a car that you're talking about, or the generation. But it's like also asking Porsche, like, what's the difference between the 911 GT3 and the GT2? And we're not talking about the race or cup version in these cases. There's a difference. There are different trims, you know. And what's the difference between a 991 and a 992? Because both of them are 911 Porsches, but like one is, you know, the newer one and one's the older one. The 992 is the newer version of the car. So it's like, yeah, this is basically. Did you like Google the Porsche's naming scheme and they explain like why the hell they naming the cars 911? They have that on their corporate website. That's interesting. They explain that, oh yeah, we wanted to name it the 991 and like 901, and then Persia was like new. Persia was like new. So we now have 911, which is, you know, decades late. So something happened in October, I think. God, sorry. No, I stopped. And then decades later, something happened in 2001 that, according to the American date format, was on date 9/11. Which makes that fucking car name very stupid and ironic. The numbers do not have any meaning. It sometimes declares the generation between the cars, because the 992 is definitely a newer car, right? But it didn't. Yeah, the 911 just stuck around as a car, as the base design idea. It's more like, you know, like the 911 is at this point, like referring to, is less of a car and more like a car category, like a hatchback. The 911 is its own car category. Porsche, yeah. Porsche is the cause of everything. Also, there's for some reason something loose in my left-hand controller, and it's kind of annoying. Right. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up now, finally. How long have I been live? Now 43, right. Before we're gonna argue with Porsche's naming convention into the ground. Which is funny, but like, it's still like... You can sort of maybe follow the convention names, but like, it's still stupid, right? Also, my hand is now... Gosh. Yeah, my eyes are like, actually, you know, where my mouth is on my motor right now. So that's stupid. Yeah, I need to rest again. Fast Femboys EP. I need to regenerate the gaze. I shall say goodnight then. I shall maybe be back, but this week, who knows? Who cares? I definitely know I will be back on the night from Sunday to Monday again. Same time, if I don't actually oversleep that time. Let's see. I plan to not do that, because I really want to see how this car performs in Indy. In any case, bye-bye.